Amazing. A booby trap that actually catches boobies.
Optimus Prime? What the hell? Oh my god, that's Optimus Prime from the Transformers cartoon. This version is from back in the 80s. And it's yes, she's a cartoon, but I can say she's attractive. Would I? Yes, absolutely I would, but we don't need to move into that. But this attractive lady is like crouched down in between like some machinery, and he's like, well,
Amazing. A booby trap that actually catches boobies.
how fucked up is that? How fucked up is that? Oh my god. I had no idea Optimus Prime was a boob guy. I always thought he was a butt guy, but apparently not.
And she showed me her boobies, and I like them too.
I get it. You're making that machine rock hard. It is. He's on my piston. My piston. Oh, God. Ah! That's so jacked up. It reminds me of that scene, and I don't have the sound bite. I must have left it at the radio station when I left. But it's of Ward Cleaver talking to his son, whoever the oldest one was, not Beaver. But it was him talking about a woman's place is in the kitchen. And you're like, what the fuck did he just say? A man works the grill. Woman, her place is in the kitchen, son. Wow, how fucked up. I didn't even realize that with the Transformers that they were sexist. But there's probably a lot. If we all went back, you pick a cartoon. We'll just stick with cartoons. I'm sure by the end of a season of a cartoon, you could pick out one or two things that you're just like, what the fuck is this? This is either racist or sexist. Jesus. You think that we've come a long way as a society, and in a sense we have. But man, we still got a long way to go. And I know that's from the 80s. It is. But have you turned on the news lately? We got a long way to go. We do. But you know what we need to do right now? Let's just relax. Let's enjoy some comedy. And remember, today's show is presented to you by Bet Online. In fact, Bet Online is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything sports betting, every stat, matchup breakdown, and even live odds and spreads to bet on during the games. And they have the largest catalog of odds on everything from football, MLB playoffs, NHL, NBA, to political props. Now, when the games are over, head on over to their online casino, get in on the game of blackjack or poker, or even unwind with one of their over 150 slot games. Go to betonline.ag today to get in on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. It's Bet Online. The game starts here. I still can't believe that Optimus Prime did that. It's just so troubling. Like, I feel like it would be one of those things to be like, I'll be showing my kids, be like, oh, you guys got to watch the old school Transformer cartoons. Gather around, kids, let's watch it. And then they're like, oh, she's pretty. Oh, yeah, she is. She's kind of a little badass. And then apparently she got caught. Well, here comes Optimus Prime. What's he going to say?
Amazing. A booby trap that actually catches boobies.
Boy, this is awkward. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Hey, you know what we need to do right now? Let's jump into some headlines.
Let's go! And now, here are the headlines.
We're going to kind of rifle through these because we got a decent amount. Doritos is bringing their first ever restaurant to a California venue. The Crypto.com Arena, worst name for an arena, worst sponsor ever, in my mind. If you're going to have a title sponsor for your venue, I don't want it to be a .com. I don't. I just feel like that's like kind of lame. It is, right? At least like with the Broncos playing at Mile High, everybody still calls it Mile High, but it's Empower Field. Okay, that's fine. That's okay. It's kind of cool, empowering the Broncos to play like trash half the time, right? It's fine. But Crypto.com, kind of lame. But going back to the original point of the story is Doritos is bringing their first ever restaurant to life. And as much as I kind of want to bag on it, it's kind of interesting when you think about it, because when I worked at, like, say, Subway, there'd be a lot of people that would get a sandwich, then they'd get a bag of Doritos or whatever chips, go to the table, pour the chips on there. We weren't allowed, at least at that point, weren't allowed to put the chips on there because of some reason. I don't remember why. And people love it. And I'm sure you can make other dishes. Let's see if I can find some Doritos restaurant. Let's see what the menu is. What do you think's on the menu? You would have to have some sort of, I would guess, at least one sandwich has to have it, but it's like, crunched up on there. I never was a fan of that. Let's see if it has the actual fucking menu on here. They have like, ooh, what are those? They have appetizers. How about this, you dipshits? You put the fucking name of what it is. There's an ice cream cone dipped with, like, they have like a chocolate top, but they dip the chocolate, or they at least have the chocolate covered in crunched up Doritos. That would probably be good. This is like a stoner's dream, don't you think? See, this is actually kind of dumb. I think overall, this is ridiculous. Goddamn fucking stupid ads on websites drive me fucking nuts. Do you ever click on a pop-up on purpose? No. But there's got to be enough people out there that are clicking on that shit for them to still do it. They're calling a Doritos After Dark restaurant. That's what they're calling it, by the way. Better have some fucking is that uh-oh. That sounds like Optimus Prime might be stopping by.
Amazing. A booby trap that actually catches boobies.
The Doritos After Dark menu. What the shit? They got bold entrees, sweet. They're not even giving me the actual fucking menu. Give me the goddamn menu. But anyway, I imagine it's going to be very gimmicky. It's going to be appetizer based. It's going to be basic. Nothing spectacular. They might have some sort of, what are those things where they have like a pasta where you stuff stuff in it. I imagine they'll have something like that. Blah 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 blah. It sounds like if I was high off my ass and I'm like, we gotta go to the Doritos restaurant. That's what they're going for. They're embracing that demographic to come in. And in a sense, I get it. If you run a restaurant, that's what you need to be embracing, is the stoners out there, because they're going to go in there and they're going to order a little bit more than the average customer. I've seen signs where people are like, if you smell like marijuana, you're not welcome. That's dumb, because they're going to spend some fat cash in there. That's ridiculous. So I get what Doritos is doing. I can't imagine them having their own brick and mortar location. I can only imagine them being inside something like an arena, a poorly named arena. That's the only thing I can imagine, because I can't see them being successful, next to a PF Chang's and Olive Garden, whatever. Taco Bell, nothing like that. It can't compete with that shit. Unless their menu ends up being spectacular. But geez, let's be honest. That seems like just a gimmick, and they probably realize the majority of the people coming into that venue are probably high off their ass, and it's kind of snacky food, which is great for watching a game. And then there you go. 2 + 2 = 4 equals amazing money in their pocket. But it can't stand alone. It can't. I could be wrong. Don't think I am. When I read you this headline, be thinking, where do you think this is happening? Where? What country in this great world do you think this is happening? Ready? Okay. Aquarium star whale shark shocks visitors because it turns out that it was a robot. Where do you think that happened? Guesses over here, here, here. No, yes. Oh, that guy got it. That lady got it too. Yep, China. China. What the shit, China? If you don't have the animal, quit making it up. They get in trouble for making, what is it, those chow chow dogs and making them, painting them to make them look like pandas. Now they got a pretend whale shark that they actually built. It's a fucking robot. That blows my mind. I mean, that's ballsy. It's ballsy. That's a lot of trust in your engineers. Be like, make it look real. Are you sure? Fuck yeah. Nobody's gonna guess. Nobody's gonna guess that it's fake. 5 minutes out on display. Guys, they found out it's a fucking robot. Oh, God, these guys are good. Good. You can't trust anything if you go to a zoo in China. Just assume it's fake. It's just so ridiculous. I have to bring this up. I'm going to move on quickly from it, but I saw the headline, think it's kind of funny. Al Pacino says it's fun to be a new dad at 84. He's 84 and he's a new dad. Listen, I appreciate the fact that he's excited to be a part of his child's life. That's great. That's kind of, there was a time where a good amount of time where people, especially if you're the father, you weren't really part of your child's development. And now we're turning a new leaf and it's more commonplace. So that's good. It's good. But the funny thing is let's be honest here. You're going to die soon. And you're not going to see your kid, most likely, if you're a new father at the age of 84, most likely, there's a good chance you're not going to see him graduate from high school. You're not going to see him get married. You're not going to be a grandfather to that kid's offspring. It's neat, but it's kind of sad at the same time. It's like, good for you. You want to be part of your kid's life. As somebody that had two very energetic kids, and when they're going through that stage where they're just running all over the place, good thing he's fucking rich, because then he can have, a nanny that can help chase around the kids. Because if he was Joe Schmo like me and you can't afford to have somebody help you take care of it. You're going to be doing that shit on your own. And at 84, 90 years old, blah, 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 it's going to be difficult. Al Pacino, hoo-ah, holy shit, this kid's going over here. I don't know his accent. I just know, hoo-ah. I can't even do it. I can't even do Al Pacino. I bet if I listened to him, I could figure it out, but I don't got the time. I don't got the time. This is so bizarre. This just showed up, and I've never heard of this competition that goes on, but this is the headline. Cheating alleged after men's world conker champion found with steel chestnut in his pocket. Dun, dun, dun. He's got steel nuts. He's cheating. No. My goodness. Who cheats at a game that involves nuts? Okay? I don't know. Could you imagine patting the guy down? Congratulations, you're a winner. Just to kind of, make sure that everything's up to par. I'm going to pat you down. And they'd be like, what's this in your pocket? Oh my God, it's a steel nut. He cheated. I don't even know. I tried to look up what the rules were for this game, and apparently you have like a wooden mallet, and you're like you know tapping on people's nuts, like the chestnuts or whatever. Not like their actual nuts. That would be funny. Come here, you little son of a bitch! I'm gonna whack you in the nuts. Oh, I lose. I lose. I lose. I'm done. How dumb do you? He claims that he just had it, and it's kind of like a good luck charm towards type of thing for him, and he doesn't use it. But it's just bizarre. What a fucking weird. It tells you though. There's a lot of weird competitions out there. Banging nuts with mallets, and then people that cheat at those games with steel nuts. It's just weird. So bizarre. A mysterious. We're gonna get into some kind of a weird stuff. A mysterious doorway was discovered in Antarctic ice via Google Maps, and conspiracy theorists are freaking out. Okay, obviously they think it's either the Nazis that are living down there, or they think it's another species of human hybrids or humans that live down there. Here's my problem: I can't trust anything I see on the internet. When who was I talking to? I was talking to my buddy Brandon the other day, and I was making something because oh god, what I think it was after the Broncos beat the Jets or something like that. And I'm kind of like talking to him, but I'm also working at the same time, and I was telling him what I was doing. Oh, it was before the Raiders game. That's what it was. And I was making something. I was making like a little picture with a cutout of Bo Nix or something like that, right? And he's like, "Oh wow, that's crazy that you're cutting out the background and all that." I was like, "What's funny is there's apps for everything now, and it cuts your work more than in half. And it's just a matter of doing the research and figuring stuff out on your own to see what you can do on your own instead of contracting it out for somebody else." And I realized I can make all these things like in a blinking of an eye. Just a matter of thinking about it and executing it. So when I see how easy it is for somebody like me to execute and make certain things, and I know people that actually will go and buy upgraded software, like super intense software. And I know there's a bunch of nerds out there that have nothing else going on in their lives, and they're sitting there in their mom's basement trying to go, how can I stay relevant? How could people like me? Well, I'm going to make it look like that there's a doorway in the middle of Antarctica, and I'm going to mix it with this software, and I'm going to go bleep, 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 nerd, 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 nerd. Okay. And it make it look like it's something from Google Maps, right? I don't trust anything that I see on the internet anymore. You can't trust information coming out of any political individual's mouth because misinformation gets spread so easily, because they might be slightly responding to something and then it just blows out of proportion. They don't even have to say it. You can just spill those beans out to the followers, and they're just going to let it go like wildfire, and they're going to build on it. And like I had somebody tell my daughter, they're like, "Did you know that Kamala Harris kidnaps and steals babies and then kills them?" And I'm like, "That's not fucking true at all." No, but shit spreads like wildfire, and it goes on both sides politically, and and things, people run away with those things so easily, and you can start misinformation so simply. And when you see something like this with this alleged doorway in Antarctica, it's very easily faked. I'm not saying I could fake it, but I know that there's plenty of people out there that are a lot more creative and have a lot more time on their hands to do so. And that's troubling, very troubling. And it kind of goes into what I want to talk about coming up in the mailbag. So you know what? Let's go ahead and jump into the mailbag.
Mailbag. You've got mail.
This comes in from Matt OFP. He said, "DeHuff, we survived hurricanes, earthquakes, wars, plagues, and tracksuit pants outside the gym. It will be social media clout that ends us all." And he's responding to, because he forwarded this to me as well, a video of some guy after a football game decides he wants to just go on a rampage and beat the shit out of people. The guy's name is Jack Callis, a guy who, as the original post says, yesterday decided after his team won a football game to beat up random other team football fans for no reason. He's now lost his jobs, probably a girlfriend, you would think, his 2A rights, and his freedom, all because he got drunk and decided, keyword decided, to assault random guys. He's looking at felony assault, among other charges, up to 8 years in federal prison. What's sad about this video, too, is the dude is being encouraged by the camera guy. So they're both out there. Both of them need to be in trouble. Not just the guy that goes up to people and just is like, "Oh, we got some stragglers," and he just goes and just starts wailing on people. These people are just minding their own business. He comes up and just starts beating the shit out of them. And going to what Matt was talking about, it's the social media clout. They were going to post, or they did post this video. It's him being encouraged by his camera guy to, let's go beat up some football fans. This will be hilarious. I don't know why you would think that that's funny, and I don't know why you think that that would be a good idea to post it. I mean, how fucking dumb are you? You deserve to go to jail because of how stupid you are. And going back to what Matt said, it is. Everybody wants to be relevant in this day and age when it comes to social media. Not everybody, but you know what I'm saying. A good chunk of people. Do you know OnlyFans paid content creators $20 billion in the past 8 years so they can touch themselves and stroke themselves while people watch? It's ridiculous. Go through social media. How many people have fucking podcasts now? Which really pisses me off because a lot of them are just, they got no business, right? They got no business being on there, but they just say outrageous things. And the more outrageous you are, the more fucking followers you're going to get, which is absurd. It just bothers me so much. People are so desperate for attention. So desperate. Listen, I'm not a huge religious guy. I'm not. My dad was a Baptist minister when I grew up. He died when I was 5, so I didn't have a lot of religious influence, but I do recall there's something about not worshiping false idols. And there's a lot of truth to that, whether you believe in what the Bible says or not. Okay? We have a problem in today's day and age where we worship false idols. We worship celebrities. We worship politicians. We worship musicians, actors, you name it. Random motherfuckers on YouTube, TikTok, all these social media platforms. Now, some people you might appreciate what they do and you're not obsessive. But there are people out there that are way too obsessive with these individuals. And the individuals that are in desperate need of trying to be worshiped are the ones that are really scary because they do dumb shit like this, right? I want people to worship me, so I'm going to make some stupid video. Now, obviously, they're not thinking in their head. They're not openly admitting that they want people to worship them, but at the very bottom layer of what they're desiring, that's what it is, right? You want people to follow you. You want people to go, oh, I like that guy because of what he puts out there. He's crazy, blah, blah, blah. It's really bizarre because not everybody's that way. No, there are some people that out there that just do their thing, and it just so happens that people like what they do. I don't think I have anybody that worships me, and that kind of bothers me, I guess. Deep down, deep down, it does. What's a guy got to do? Huh? Do I need to go start, eating random food at restaurants off of people's plates? That's the most extreme thing I would ever think about doing, but I would never actually do it because I just think that would be fucked up to do. All joking aside, we do have a problem with that, where people just are so desperate to be noticed, so desperate to be put up on a pedestal that they don't even bother to think about what are the consequences. What am I actually doing here? And that's an issue. And you got the people following along blindly to individuals on social media, actors, um, politicians, stuff like that, musicians, where they'll blindly follow them, and regardless of what's staring them back in the face, they could be great at first, and then next thing you know, that celebrity is projecting nonsense and negativity, and you're just going, that's them. It's great. I did a video like a year or two ago bagging on like Kanye West for something he did, and there was a good chunk of people that were like, "Oh man, yeah, he's whacked out," and something like that. I don't remember what it was, but then like all the Kanye defenders would be like, "You just don't understand. He's a genius." I'm like, dude, like he's said some fucked up shit. Nah, man, you just don't get it. Or he's great. Fuck you. Okay. We all have those moments where we need to stop and take a step back and go, what am I getting out of this relationship? Whether it's you and your partner, you and your friends, coworkers, what is the relationship going on? Is it a positive one? If it's not positive, how can it be positive? And if it can't be positive, do I really even need to be a part of this anymore? And then you start putting that towards your favorite musician. You do that towards your favorite actor, your favorite politician, your favorite. Yeah, and let's be honest, I'm talking about Trump too. Yes. I know that that's a sore subject, but there's sometimes where you see a politician, not just him, but other politicians too, and you're like, Jesus Christ, the fuck are they saying? That goes on both sides. He obviously stands out because he's that big blinking orange light that everybody can't help but notice. But everybody does it on all sides. Where you stop and you start digging, and you're like, dude, they've said some fucked up shit. It's not just him, it's all of them. And it makes you go, am I following for the right reasons? What the fuck am I doing? I know I'm kind of veering off on some randomness. Part of it is I got sick this week. And my brain is just willy-nilly going all over. But I hope what you can see what I'm saying is at the end of the day, circling back is we tend to follow and worship false idols. And while I'm not a religious man, I can appreciate what's in the Bible. And at the base of it, what a lot of what the Bible teaches is about being a good person. Some of it is questionable. When you go through it, Jesus, I was going to say Jesus Christ when talking about the Bible. Is that blasphemy? Guess I'm going to hell. Um, when you read a lot of that too, you're going to go, some of this is fucked up. But there are parts that are great. There are parts that at its core is be kind to one another. Don't project negativity. And there's times where We are so consumed with I need media clout, like Matt was talking about, that I don't care who's in the way. I just think it's bizarre when a lot of these people that do social media, that they open their door and let people into their own houses, and then they're essentially exploiting their children in everyday content, and they're making money off of it. And it's just bizarre. I went off on a tangent. The thing is, it's disturbing that and there's also these powerful influences out there that encourage it, like TMZ. Look at TMZ's, say, Instagram account. A lot of times as you go through it, there's a bunch of nonsense, obviously celebrity worship type shit. But sometimes you go through there and they're like, watch as this man is pummeled to death or beaten to, an inch of his life. Click here to watch the video. It's essentially remember back in the day when you would hear rumblings about snuff films? That's essentially what they peddle now. That's what it looks like. And the irony is it's run by a lawyer, somebody that should be obeying the law, and apparently he is, and apparently the law doesn't give a shit. If there's a video of me getting killed and one day it ends up on a website, that's fucked up. But especially because somebody's essentially profiting off of it. I'm going way off the rails on this, and I apologize. But we can do better, people. Don't fall for the trap of always wanting to post stuff. There's plenty of times where I don't post things, where this would be a good idea for a video, and it's like, I don't need to. I don't need to because if you follow me on socials, I don't do a lot of behind the scenes type of stuff. Not very often. But there's other people that do. And it's hard for me not to judge that. Right? Because it's like, why? Do you think people care that much? Unless it's funny. If it's funny, sure. I should probably restart this video, but as I'm going through this, I'm my wife and kids ended up going on vacation without me because on Sunday I just got really sick and I had to bail. So I've been sleeping the past couple days. That's that's my bailout. People are like, DeHuff went too far. He was talking about Trump. He was talking about religion. And he was attacking my favorite actors and celebrities like Kim Kardashian. But now, then he said it's because he's sick. Oh, guys, sorry, I have a fever. Oh, that's what it is. Never mind what I just said. Hey, did you guys see I have a squishy sperm next to me? Yes, I went on a tangent. Am I wrong? No, I'm not wrong. And I will leave this in there. We have a problem, and we're not gonna get any better at it. And until somehow, some way, influencers, the people that like that stupid dickhead McGee with his Lambo that crashed, and then he starts begging for money. Individuals like that, when those people stop getting attention and platforms because they're projecting negativity and irresponsibility, until we can get rid of that, it's not going to get any better. Eventually, that needs to be managed. And I don't know how that happens. In all honesty, I don't. But it's a glaring problem. People want clout. They do. I get it. But how do you stifle that? How do you at least pat it down so it's not as engulfed? I don't know. It's a problem. I'm going to go take a nap. I am. You're welcome. Thank you guys so much for supporting the show. Really appreciate it. Thanks for listening. Matt, thanks so much for joining the show. If you want to be like Matt, you can interact with me. Matt sent me that on Twitter at DeHuff Podcast. That's all my handles on social are at DeHuff Podcast. Or you can just send me an email, dehuffpodcast@gmail.com. Listen, again, I'm going to follow up this real quick. At the end of the day, are you a good person? That's it. You may follow somebody. You may appreciate some of the things that they say. Are you a good person? That's it. That's really, at the end of the day, what you should be doing is worrying about, am I a good person? And if I'm an influence to people around me, am I influencing positivity? That's what you should be worried about. Because if you're not, you're an asshole, and you should think about the way you handle yourself. Anyway, thanks for listening. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Share it with your friends. Give it a nice review if you could, please. Big thanks to Bet Online. Go check them out at betonline.ag. It's DeHuff Uncensored. You guys are amazing. Sorry. Oh, my bad. I was feeling good. Then I started it. Then I fucked it up. And then now I'm just like, I'm going to go look back later and I'm going to be like, did I do a good job? Maybe not. And then at the end, I'm going to be like, you know what? No.
I didn't do fucking shit.
It is what it is. Honesty is hard sometimes to swallow. And listen, I know it. You like to swallow, don't you? Gotcha. Ooh, it was a good ploy. This was all a big ruse, all a big joke to get you to admit that you swallow. High five, everybody. All right. Anyway, you guys have a fantastic day. Let's continue to move forward. Try not to be a dick today. It's DeHuff Uncensored. I'll talk to you next time.